you're suffering from the scorching heat, rest assured that you're not the only one. Countries across South and Southeast Asia are grappling with a brutal heat wave as record high temperatures have led to school closures and triggered urgent health warnings across the region. From India to Malaysia, temperatures have crossed well over 40 degrees Celsius, touching record highs of 45 to 47 degrees Celsius. Let's take a look at some of the key countries facing this sweltering heat. To begin with India, where various parts of the country are facing record-breaking temperatures touching 47, even 48 degrees Celsius. The eastern and southern regions of India have been experiencing heat waves over the past few weeks, with the Indian Meteorological Department warning that relief from this heat is unlikely in the upcoming days. This sizzling heat comes at a time when voters from across the country head to the ballots in India's largest election till date. Moving on to Bangladesh, which has recorded temperatures of 48 degrees Celsius, Nepal has been suffering from a heat wave and drought since March this year, with daily temperatures crossing 40 degrees Celsius. Due to extreme heat in the middle of the day, schools in southern Nepal moved to adapt their schedules to early morning. The country has also experienced a decline in visitors due to soaring temperatures. Health officials have also seen an uptick in cases of vomiting and urinary infections. Moving on, China recorded a temperature of 41.9 degrees Celsius. Thailand also recorded a temperature of over 40 degrees Celsius. Philippines recorded a temperature of 41 degrees Celsius. The country has been facing immense sizzling temperatures. Earlier this week, the Filipino government ordered millions of students to stay home after authorities cancelled in-person classes for 2 days, switching to online classes. They also advised people across the country to avoid outdoor activities and drink plenty of water. This sweltering weather has also led to fears of water shortage, power outages, and damage to crops. So what is behind this sizzling temperature, and is this a sign of climate change causing havoc on our lives?
The massive heat wave that we are experiencing right now in Southeast Asia, which is unprecedented in our modern history, could be the beginning of the long-term cascade of events, environmental changes brought about by the climate crisis. Climate scientists project that heat waves will become more frequent, longer, and more intense as climate change worsens.
So who are the most vulnerable members of the population? Extreme heat primarily affects children, the elderly, and those living in poverty. Children, older people, and those with pre-existing conditions or disabilities can overheat much more quickly than others, making them much more vulnerable. UNICEF warned last month that 243 million children from across the Pacific and East Asia are at the risk of heat waves.
Our farmers and fisher folk, those who work in the construction industry, in factories, in ill-ventilated buildings, those exposed under the sun, those living in cramped and overcrowded housing with poor insulation, children as well as the elderly, those with pre-existing conditions like heart disease, all these are some of the groups that are most vulnerable to the health effects of extreme heat.
As experts indicate that Asia is unlikely to feel any relief from this heat in the upcoming days, they also warn that such heat waves are to become more frequent in the coming years.